Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to class today. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you. We are going to continue with our study of geometry. Today, we're going to be talking specifically about angles. And by the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify and draw angles on your own. So you might be thinking, what does it mean to identify? Well, identify basically means when you see an angle, you can tell what type of angle it is. So before we talk about those 4 different types of angles, let's talk about what is an angle. Well, in geometry, we've already learned about lines. Now remember, lines are those straight figures that go on forever and ever without stopping. A line segment is a part of a line that has 2 definite ends. So I need you to use your imagination for a little bit and try and think of this pencil as a line segment. It's straight, first of all, and it's got 2 definite ends. So if we take 2 line segments and we put them together, the space in between those 2 line segments is called our angle. And there's going to be 4 different types of angles that we're talking about. And at the end of our lesson, you'll be able to look at an angle and say what type of angle it is. You'll identify it, and then you're going to be able to draw those angles as well. So let's take a look at our first angle. I'm going to switch my screen so you can see what I'm seeing. This angle is called a right angle. Can you say right angle with me? Right angle. Nice job, Kylie. You're already identifying that this is a right angle. Now let's look at the right angle here. One of the line segments goes straight out to the side, and the other line segment goes straight up and down. What are some things that you notice about that right angle? Alexis? Nice job. Alexis says she noticed that they drew a little square on the inside there. Well, that is the important part of the right angle. The right angle, because one of the line segments is going straight to the side and the other line segment is going straight up and down, you're able to draw a perfect square inside that right angle. Now, we say that the angle measures exactly 90 degrees. We haven't learned how to measure angles yet, but that's okay. If you look at the angle and you see it's going straight to the side and straight up and down, and you could draw a perfect square in the middle there, that is a right angle. So we're going to practice drawing the right angle, but we're going to trace this right angle. So I want you to take your finger, and I'm going to trace over it with you. I'm going to use blue to trace. You're going to use your pencil, and I want you to take your finger, start where they meet, and go straight out to the side, and then straight up and down. That is a right angle. Now, we're going to practice making one of those right angles with our body. So, I know you're at home, you're on your computers, but I want you to stand up with me. We're going to stand straight and tall. We're going to take one hand, we're going to put it straight out to the side, and one hand and put it straight up and down. And I'm going to scooch down a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. This is a right angle. Now we have to be a little bit imaginative because our bodies are not perfectly straight, but if we're pretending that we're exactly straight, this would be a right angle. The space in between there would be exactly 90 degrees. Now what about if I flip it? Is that still a right angle? What do you think, Adeline? You are exactly right. Adeline said this is still a right angle. So it doesn't matter which way it's facing, as long as you could draw that perfect square in there, and the one line segment is straight out to the side and the other one is straight up and down, it's still a right angle. You could even flip it this way, still a right angle. All right, so we talked about an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. Let's look at the next angle. We have acute angle. Can you say that with me? Acute angle. Nice job, Levi. I heard you loud and proud. Now, the way I remember acute angle is I think a cute, tiny little angle. So if I'm saying it's tiny, the first angle that we talked about was the right angle was exactly 90 degrees. What do you think this angle would be like? Jaden? Nice job. Jaden says it would be smaller than 90 degrees, and he's exactly right. Acute angles measure anywhere from 0 to 90 degrees. One of the line segments goes straight out to the side. The other one, to me, it looks like it's falling forward. If we compare it, I'm going to use red to draw where my right angle would be. See how the acute angle, the line segment, is falling forward. It's more narrow, so it's in between 0 and 90 degrees. Let's take our fingers and let's trace over and practice drawing that acute angle. Very good. Now you know what I'm going to do to you next. We're going to practice making that angle. So take your body. Let's make it into a right angle first. Acute angle, that one line segment is going to fall forward, and the space is going to be smaller. It's going to be less than 90 degrees. Can you make another acute angle for me? Nice job, Garen. Garen's getting creative. He pointed his down this way, and he's got a cute little tiny angle this way. Very good. So, make your right angle. Make an acute angle. Nice job. So if we have an angle that's exactly 90 degrees, one that's less than 90 degrees, what do you think might be next? Oh, I see Mason's hand going up. What do you think, Mason? Very good. I heard Mason say if we have a small, less than 90, and exactly 90, we probably have bigger than 90. And Mason is exactly right. So we have our right angle, our acute angle. Next, we have our big old obtuse angle. Obtuse angle measures more than 90, but less than 180. And if you think about the right angle being straight up and down, the obtuse angle, the one line segment, almost looks like it's falling backwards from that. Okay? I want to see you taking your fingers and tracing that big old obtuse angle. Nice job, Matthew. I see you following right along. And after we've traced it, let's practice making it with our bodies. So stand up with me. Obtuse. If we have our right angle, make your right angle. The obtuse is going to fall backwards. Very good. Do you think you can make another obtuse angle? Nice job. I see Blaze flipping it. He's doing it the other way. Ooh, Adeline, she's even got hers down this way. As long as, if we think about this would be our right angle, if it was face down, the obtuse would be wider. This line segment would go out, and our space in between there would be bigger than that square. It's larger than 90 degrees. Very good. We've got one more type of angle that we are going to talk about. We've done our right. We've done our acute. We've done our obtuse. And now, drum roll please, we have our straight angle. What does this straight angle look like? Kylie? Nice job. She said it looks exactly like a straight line. And Kylie is exactly right. Your two line segments are connected. They're both going straight out to both sides. And you can make, if you were to connect them, it's a perfect half circle there. So I want you to take your fingers and trace that straight angle. Nice job. I see Adeline tracing that with me. Now don't forget, we're gonna make it with our bodies as well. So stand up from your computers and make that straight angle. Very good. So I'm gonna call them out and I want you to make the angle. Acute, nice job, smaller than 90. Right, nice job, exactly 90. Obtuse, nice job, bigger than 90. And straight out and down. Very good. So we practiced making the angles with our bodies. We practiced drawing them and tracing them. Now we're going to practice practice identifying or telling what the angle is. So I'm going to share this on all your screens. This is our angle sort. And so you should be seeing the same screen that I have now. You're going to take a look at the angle and you're going to put it in the correct box. You're going to identify what type of angle you're seeing there. Now remember, we want to compare all of our angles to the right angle, the one that's straight up and down. Now you may be thinking, I don't see this straight angle. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, and the straight angle is the one that's probably easiest for us to remember because it's straight. Both line segments go straight out to both sides and it looks like a straight line. So we're going to be focusing on the acute, obtuse, and right. So let's look at this first angle there. When you look at it in comparison to our right angle, is our space smaller than 90 or greater than 90? Nice job, Jaden. He says it's smaller, so it's going to be acute. And we would put it in that category. Very good. So, thank you for listening to my lesson. I would continue this by sorting out. We would do the identifying together. The boys and girls would work on it. We would probably do the first 4 or 5 together, and then I would have them start working on it on their own, and I would be monitoring their computer screen, making sure that they're on the right track, and that would be something that we would work on together. Also, I know because we're in a virtual setting, might have to be a little bit creative. I would want the students to start building some angles. So I would say a type of angle like obtuse, and I would have them use objects like pencils or straws or anything straight that they would have in their house to build the angle. And then I would have them share their screen and show me what they built. So that would be a way for me to make sure that I'm seeing that they're able to draw the angle as well. And then after we've done more of the we do section, I would start having them do some more work independently in the I do section. And I know all of these students were students who were in the lower tier and needed some extra support. So I may start with something like this, where they would identify the angle and there's choices that they can use, and then work them up to where they have to label it on their own without the choices. This is definitely a little bit easier than this piece. And for my students who have an IEP or may need some special interventions, I would have them keep this chart with them at first, especially when they're working with this sheet, until they get really comfortable identifying the different types of angles. And then I would ask them to try and identify without their reference sheet. So I appreciate you listening to my lesson. It's a little bit different when you're trying to teach to students that you don't necessarily know. I think it's very important to know your students on a personal level, and even though I would be teaching virtually, that would be something that would be important to me so that I could get to know their strengths, their weaknesses, what works best for them. I tried to use visual things in this lesson. I also wanted to use movement. I know I have a lot of students that are able to do better when they're able to get up and move. So that's why you saw all the different kind of modalities there. But thank you. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I will see you soon, hopefully.